And we are live with the pre-show. I'm here with Tim, and we're just getting things squared away here. Pretty rainy out there, huh?
Yeah, well, it's torrential and then drizzle and then torrential and drizzle. Yeah, it makes driving exciting.
Yes, so I'm glad you made it safely. And we're just letting some people come into the live stream now. This is the pre-show. We'll be going just in a few seconds here. We're not going to wait for the countdown, guys. I know I moved it it was originally scheduled for 8:30. I moved it to 9. Tim wanted to be very careful and get here safe, so I moved it to 9:15. But we're just going to go live really soon, guys. All right, we're seeing people coming in here, and I'm not able to get the Q&A section of the chat. That is not working again. I gotta talk to YouTube and figure out what's going on. So when it's question and answer time, we're just gonna have you put it in the chat in all capital letters. I saw one come in here earlier. Do you think Trump is gonna win New Hampshire? Was the question.
No, it's next to impossible.
Yep.
Because we have no voter ID required.
Of course not.
And during the last election, somebody called in a Dan Ray show. That's a national radio show because it's on rebroadcast on Westinghouse Radio. Mm-hmm. And he said, "What the heck is going on in New Hampshire? I just came to vote. I just voted, and there are like 200 people registering to vote." And he said, "Caller, I still have time. I can get in my car, drive to any precinct in New Hampshire, claim I moved there this afternoon, and when they say, well, let me see your ID, and say, I lost my ID, I could scribble something on a piece of paper and they'd give me a ballot." That's the law in New Hampshire. That's why we haven't had a fair election in New Hampshire since 1996. That's a fact.
Wow.
Well, Tom Steyer admitted, and I don't mean to insult Tom Steyer, but he's due a lot of insulting. He claimed he spent $1 million to get one of our reps elected the last time around. It was Annie Custer. And she's only one of the useless reps that we have. And they sent teams of kids around to colleges to secure votes. That almost sounds like election interference. It sounds like it's illegal. Mm-hmm. But he admitted to spending $1 million to get her elected. And you can imagine how they did that, because all those students don't have to be New Hampshire residents.
That is just
they
awful.
do to vote.
So if I went into a package store and I said, of course I'm so old now they wouldn't even question it. But if I was like 18, it's 21 or something. And I said, I left my ID at home. Would they just let me buy a pack of beer?
Well, it depends. My daughter and I went to an Eric Clapton concert. Oh, no. At that time, it was the TD Bank Center.
Oh, okay, a while ago. All right.
And I didn't have my ID, and I went to get a beer, and they would not let me have a beer. And
you look so young, Tim.
I said, don't you have to be like 25 at the concert? Yep, you do, but you have to have an ID.
But not to vote. Not here in New Hampshire. I got it. All right, so we're already deep in politics, guys, and we're in the pre-show. So we got to get this thing going. I'm going to start it up right now and just hang around until after the bumper. We're going to talk silver. We're going to talk gold. We're going to talk, some interesting, news items that I want to hear Tim's response on, and we'll get to that all in just a few minutes. All right. All right. Welcome to Ask Yankee. Thank you so much for joining. Really looking forward to this. It's been a while, and I am so glad to be able to be back with you, to be able to talk with, Tim Marschner of the Coin and Stamp Shop is with me tonight. It's always a treasure and a treat to have him here. We have a lot of questions that we're going to run by him. We're going to do our Q&A session. Unfortunately, the Q&A portion of this live stream for some reason is not working. I don't know why, but we'll just have you put questions in the chat in just a few minutes. But I do want to, shout out all my subscribers, all my mods, and all my members. Thank you so much for being a part of the Yankee militia. You guys are awesome. And even a big shout out to Reg Nation. It's a running joke. When we get to the Wheel of Names and we give away stuff, I'm sure Rig Nation will rise up and tease me relentlessly. They always do that. So I just want to let you know that we're going to be giving away some stuff. This is the giveaway tray. Look at this. I'm going to be tearing open some silver here. I've got some SD Bullion rounds. I've got some junk silver from SD Bullion. I've got all kinds of cool stuff. We got some pocket pingers to give away with real and fake silver in there. I also want to share with you a little bit about what I got at the auction, the Wounded Warrior Project auction that I was able to be a part of. It was really awesome. I made some great auction bids, and I was able to get some stuff, and it was just wonderful to be able to support them. So maybe one of these will be given tonight away as a giveaway as well. Now, in order to give away some extra silver from my stack, there's another way. And right down there, you can see the Super Chat total is already going up. We're up to $12. Every $100 in Super Chats, I'll give away another ounce of silver from my stack. So definitely consider that. I appreciate it. And then also Q&A. So when we get to the Q&A, I'll try my best to get, Tim and I will try to get to all the questions we can. Super Chats, if you put a question in there, they will definitely get our attention. So I do appreciate that as well. What else? Oh, how do I get into the giveaways, Yankee? Especially if you're a first-timer here on Ask Yankee. You need to be a subscriber, obviously, to put something in the chat. I am going to start harvesting all the names in the chat. So right now, I have launched my harvester, and I'm going to be watching. And what you need to do is you need to keep putting something in the chat every 5 to 10 minutes or so. At the end, I'll start spinning the wheel of names, and we'll be giving away silver at the end of the live stream. All right. So, and by the way, the last giveaway sponsored by SD Bullion is this right here, the 2024 1 ounce D-Day silver coin. It's the 80th anniversary of D-Day. They just arrived. It's an exclusive with SD Bullion. We're going to give away one of these beautiful coins. All right. So yeah, if you want to get in on the giveaway here, there's your obverse. Here's your reverse. Definitely put something in the chat, and we will put your name on the wheel. All right. I think I've gotten through all the important stuff I have to say at the very beginning. There's a whole bunch of rules and regs. You can see it in the chat. There'll be links. I don't want to take any more time because I want to bring in the man of the hour, as always, Tim Marschner.
Hi there.
What's up? Is that a good intro?
Oh, that's terrific.
You love that?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, say hi to Tim in the chat and let him know you're excited to see him. And, man, I am glad to see you myself.
Well, you've been out traveling around. I've been stuck in the store doing all your work.
Well, you threw me under the bus within the first minute of me bringing you in.
Yeah, you left that whole huge amount of sterling silver. Yes. You just left it.
Wait a second. You're lying. I didn't do that. There's more. You have more sterling I got to help you with, right?
There's a lot more, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I did have some fun going down to Virginia and Florida, and you took off up to Montreal. Is that right?
We did. We had a 2-day affair instead of a 3 or 4 day affair.
That's great.
The weather was pretty bad.
Good. Well, can everybody hear Tim really well? Just want to do a sound check to make sure things are going well. Because, Tim, one thing I've noticed, when I try to record you in your shop, it's always a challenge. try to get the mic close to your mouth, right? And I jack up the gain to catch you. You're a soft-spoken guy. I'm a big loudmouth. So I'm trying to balance it off. I want to make sure everybody can hear you really well.
Okay.
All right. So thanks again. Tell me what's going on in your shop right now with silver and gold. What are you seeing? What did you see today with buyers and sellers?
Many more sellers.
Many more sellers.
But I did have a couple of sellers who were converting their silver to gold, which is always a good sign. Really? But then I have a customer who's going to send me a lot of gold to convert back to silver. So
is that a good sign?
It's all a good sign. It means people are awake and paying attention and not willing to take whatever they're told at face value.
Well, we've also seen some gyrations with gold and silver just today. Silver popped above 30, right? Gold.
Yeah, gold it's a real pain in the neck. I mean, if there's no real reason for it to go up, all it does is it makes things more expensive for people, and that's unnecessary.
Well, we're seeing gold says here rise 1% in 2-week peak as Fed rate cut bets lift demand.
Yeah. Well, the Fed has no reason to cut rates. Everybody thinks they're going to because it's a political year, and if you want to make your president look good, cut rates. Even though he has nothing to do with it, because they can always raise the rates again after the election. And there's no reason to cut rates right now.
There is no reason except for one thing I want to get to in just a second. But here it says traders are currently pricing in about a 64% chance of a Fed rate cut in September.
Well, they have to do it right before an election. Yes, that's true. But I don't think it'll make any difference in the election. I'm not saying that I think Trump is definitely going to win, but I think most people have already made up their minds. And what the Democrats are hoping is that the special interest groups will go out there and dig up a lot of votes. And it is all special interest groups. It's not, it's not a functioning party anymore.
Well, we're in a manipulative market where the Fed controls the rates at a microscopic level. They are constantly pulling the gears or twisting the knobs and trying to keep this economy, this fake faux economy that's built on debt and credit, floating, functioning, not crashing. Now, the problem is if they don't cut rates, and I'm not advocating that they cut them, but if they don't, they risk a financial crisis, especially in the banking sector. I showed you this before.
Well, one of the things that's actually helping banks is the interest rates going up. You see there are fewer and fewer people who are writing mortgages or borrowing money, but that's because of the state of the economy. Banks need that gap between lending and borrowing to run the bank. Other than that, the only thing they have is the Federal Reserve to bail them out whenever they need money. Bernanke used to say every month he was in front of Congress, he would say, we have to make sure that the commercial banks maintain their capital reserves. He'd say that every month. But that starts out at billions and ends up in trillions because the way the banks operate, they can't possibly build their own capital reserves. It has to be given to them.
Well, I think the big risk that I foresee is a lot of treasuries maturing at a higher rate and causing a lot of banks to become insolvent, especially not the too big to fail ones, but the more of the regional, smaller banks. Take a look at this chart with me. This goes back on the bank failures, shows an interesting chart. The blue is the total assets of the banks that failed, and the what is that, maroon or fuchsia, whatever, is the number of bank failures. So if you're looking back here in 2008, global recession and the Great Recession, global financial crisis, we saw a huge spike, not so much in the total assets, that was high, but a lot of bank failures, right? And then we put in a period of zero interest rate policy. ZIRP went on and on and on and on for years. They tried to, back off of it. They couldn't. And then we got into 2019, 2020. We saw, a few failures during COVID. But then last year, we saw 5. Those were quite in the news. We have SVB and others, Silicon Valley Bank and so forth. And we had a total asset loss of $548 billion, $500 billion. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we had one more this year so far. Not a lot of assets.
And that's for how many banks?
I don't know the number off the top of my head.
Well, it's a very short bar there.
No, I'm sorry. Here, you mean on 2024? Yeah. One bank.
One bank. I mean, this that year. Blue line represents one bank.
We had one bank failure and about $6 billion in assets.
Okay.
So
contrast that by a factor of at least 10, maybe by a factor of 100 of the asset value of those banks if they had not failed in 2008 and 2009. What would the asset value be today?
I see what you're saying.
If that's one or two banks or whatever it is,
right.
Anything from now on is going to be way too big to fail, but there's no alternative. Failure is the only option unless they want to kill our debt overnight. Where's the money come from except the Fed? That's where it comes from.
Well, the Fed comes from the currency comes from the Fed, right? They can
wait a second. When J.P. Morgan wins the bet, they put the money in their pocket.
Yep.
When they lose the bet, they raid the capital reserves of Chase Manhattan Bank, or Chase. And then Chase Manhattan Bank calls up Jerome Powell and says, hey, Mr. Powell, our capital reserves are short by $5 billion. And he goes, hold on a second. You're all set. That's the way the system works. And Bernanke started all way back at the beginning of his term. He said, we can't let the commercial banks not maintain their capital reserves. It's free money. Free money.
So basically it works something like this. Oh, man, I love this. Monopoly. What if the bank runs out of money? Some players think the bank is bankrupt if it runs out of money. The bank never goes bankrupt. To continue playing, use slips of paper to keep track of each player's banking transactions until the bank has enough paper money to operate again. The banker may also issue new money on slips of ordinary paper. Yeah, this stuff, right?
Well, except that they don't issue it. The Federal Reserve issues that money.
The Federal Reserve does. You're absolutely right.
And that's a broken system. There's no way of rehabbing that system. It's a broken system from the start. And the zero interest rates that actually began in 2002. That's when Greenspan decided he was going to go out on a white horse. Waving his hat. And like Zorro. And so he reduced the rates. I mean, you could get a mortgage for 2.74%.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who had a higher interest rate on a home equity loan would be insane not to rewrite it. And I did that. I know everybody I know did that. But those rates stayed that way until last year. Or the year before last,
right.
Whenever they started.
And we haven't had a banking shock. My I hate to say prediction, but my thought is we could see this here happen again if they do not get the easy money that they need. That's the problem. We're going to see bank crises left and right, consolidations
but there's
left and right.
Unlimited supply of money. Just ask Nancy Pelosi. There's an unlimited supply of money. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. It's called inflation.
Well,
true inflation.
Yeah, but that's
M2. The money supply.
We don't care about inflation, do we?
Yeah, we do. And unfortunately, we as stackers do. Oh my word, we want more and more silver and gold to help protect us against that.
Inflation should alone get Trump elected. Inflation alone should get him elected. There are just too many people in this country who don't understand, especially when Biden gets on television. He says, well, I took office, inflation was 9%, and it was actually 1.4%. But he gets away with that. Why? CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, blah, blah, blah. He gets away with that.
Mm-hmm.
And, but, I don't think he's even aware of what he's saying. He just reads the teleprompter. So they could say, Mr. President, you have the best economy in the history of the world. And he go, and we have the best economy in the history of the world. That's the way it works. And there is an unlimited supply of money. It's, it's got your name on it, my name on it, but it's in the Fed. Unlimited supply of money.
Well, it's also...
That's why they want to make it digital, because they're tired of printing all this paper.
They want to make it easy, right?
Make it easy. Make it a computer entry. And, when it comes to digital currencies, I mean, if anybody out there gets into a discussion with a friend or some other Democrat who thinks that that's fine to have a digital currency, keep in mind there are 4.15 million people working for the federal government. My question is, how many of those people do you trust with your information? I don't hear any answers.
No, zero. I
Zero.
can answer that.
Zero is the answer.
Yes.
But all the transactions that would be done on a government computer, keep in mind, if you can't trust those people don't stand for it. And now's the time to start objecting to it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me segue here, but it is connected because you said, inflation, hey, it's no big deal.
No, I know
you're joking. But
that's the way our Congress operates.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the way most people think. It's no big deal until it hits the grocery store, right? So we've been inflating our currency for years and years. We saw it build up in the stock market. We saw the stock market inflate. We saw prices go up. We're now starting to see metals, I think, go up in response to inflation. But where we're really seeing it is in price inflation. So you have printing currency, that really is inflation. But we didn't see it for years until now. And I think that is what people are starting to notice.
It's absolutely everything. People don't realize it is everything. And, the start of it was when they crippled the distribution system of the petroleum industry. That is the overriding injection of more inflation to come because it feeds on itself and there's nothing you can do about it. There are petroleum derivatives in everything, absolutely everything. And, so anything plastic. And if we're going to end fossil fuels. You can't end fossil fuels because virtually everything is made from fossil fuels. Everything. And, if you have clothing, a lot of the machines are run with fossil fuels.
I get a charge. I get a kick out of those that say end oil or stop oil or whatever, and they're protesting and they're wearing glasses. Plastic glasses. I'm like, give me those glasses. Well, give me that belt. Give me this. Give me that. How'd you get here? How'd you drive here?
When the toothbrush was invented, it was made of wood, and they used porcupine quills for a brush.
There you go. Go back to that.
You go back to that.
All right. So let me shift gears here. Take a look at this. I saw this article today. America's middle class is shrinking. I looked at this, and the study based on government data released says that in late May found that the share of Americans living in middle-class households dropped from 61% in 1971 to 51% last year. And during that time, here's the kicker, the share of Americans living in lower-income households rose from 27 to 30%, and those individuals living in upper-income households rose from 11 to 19%. So what we're seeing is a striation of our economy and a way of life for people. You're seeing a higher class and a lower class, and you're seeing that middle class shrinking. That is a big impact to any economy, any nation. When you see a suffering middle class, which is the largest tax base for a nation, it's the engine that runs a nation. This is bad news.
Yes, it is. It is very bad news. And because once you get entrenched in that lower strata, it's almost impossible to get out. How are you going to get out? I mean, everything costs so much. How in the world are you going to get it out? You can go on welfare benefits. That just increases inflation. You can, to run 2 or 3 jobs, and that'll kill you before you ever emerge from the lower class. It's a situation that actually feeds on itself, and there's no way out.
And there's a lot of places where we can lay the blame. I know where you will probably lay the blame. I'm not sure you know where I'm going to lay the blame, but why don't you go first?
Well, inflation is something that can be fixed. It takes a Congress, it takes the Senate, and it takes the White House. But that's the only way you can fix inflation. Now,
and a central
Newt
bank.
Gingrich gave Bill Clinton a line item veto. And with that, he balanced the budget for 2 years. The only president in our history who had a line item veto. So how did he use it? Well, he took every Republican's pet project and drew a line. We don't need that. And balanced the budget. Okay? 2 years. Now, why don't we do that today? Well, because the Democrats didn't like that. It took their authority away from the Congress. So they went to the Supreme Court and had it taken away. So the idea of a line item veto is gone forever. But Bill Clinton used it 88 times and managed to balance the budget. It's going to take a concerted effort on the part of the Congress, the Senate, and the White House to control inflation. It can be done. Just don't keep spending money like it's water. And that's the only way. And if you don't get all 3, Congress, the Senate, and the president, it'll never be done.
All right, let me add one more. I know I'm not disagreeing with you, but I think this right here, if I can make it bigger, is another reason why that we have a have and have not, growing have and have not populace in our country. And that is the growing money supply by the Fed, printing money, printing currency, I should say, like drunken sailors. So what happens? Where does all that cash go? It gets flooded into markets, and people who have money can then make money, and those who don't are looking for stimulus and more welfare from the government, and it rips apart our socioeconomic standing here in the United States. It is destroying the middle class. And that is inflation.
I can't read the chart. Tell me what that is.
This is M2. This is the money supply. All right. So this is from 1990, and you can see it just growing, and then it hits the hockey stick, right, in 2020. So we also had it grow throughout the Great Recession. This is blasphemous, and this is what is crushing our nation socioeconomically. That's my opinion. And also policies and the government. I agree with that totally. But I think you got to put some of the blame there too. They're basically saying to Congress, whatever you want to spend, we'll monetize it for you. We'll print it for you. Instead of saying, we're not going to do this. We're independent. We're not going to do it.
Okay. Well, in Trump's last year, Jerome Powell went to see Nancy Pelosi and said, cut it off at $27 trillion because we can't pay the interest on the debt over $27 trillion. And she laughed at him. And now where are we? Under Biden, we're up around $35 trillion. There's a lot more to that, though.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Go ahead.
What's the best way to describe it? Let's see. Well, probably the stress tests. That's a good example. In 2023, around the May timeframe, they printed almost a year's supply of cash. Okay. In June, they distributed a lot of that cash to 4 key banks. Okay. Billions to 4 key banks. In July, they held a stress test. And in August, they went before the Senate to explain the results of the stress test. Now, what's a stress test? It's the ability of a bank to survive a run on the bank. And the fact is, if you decide you want your money out of a bank because you don't think your money is safe in the bank, you're going to go to the bank and demand that you close your account and you want your money. And the teller will say, okay, well, I'll get you a hit check right away. And you say, no, I don't want the bank's check. I want cash. Okay. Now, well, you have to come back on Thursday or Friday or next week or 2 weeks from now. All right, whatever it is. But that's a run on the bank. Okay. So why do they print all this cash and give it to the banks? Because they know that nobody's going to want a bank check. They're going to want that cold hard cash. So they, Elizabeth Warren got this first person to talk in the Senate hearing, and she dumps all over Jerome Powell. That's her job. And then the moderator says, okay, now that we've gotten by that, let's take a look at the stress tests. And up on the Jumbotron comes the stress test. It was, if I remember correctly, Citigroup, Chase, Bank of America, and I don't know, the fourth one could have been Wells Fargo for all I know.
Deutsche Bank, HSBC, Barclays, Credit Suisse.
Well, they only had 4 banks.
They only had 4 in this one. Okay.
But anyway, they showed their reserves in billions of dollars, and no problem. They can easily survive a run on the bank. So the stress tests were very important, and all the congressmen applauded and everything. So all the senators applauded. So, hey, we're on the right track. We got the right guy there, and we got plenty of money. The banks have plenty of money to survive a run on the banks. Well, they wouldn't be having a stress test unless they were really concerned that there's going to be a run on the bank.
Exactly.
And if I can relate all the conversations I have with people every single day, the run on the bank started a while ago. Probably a year ago, maybe
a
2 years
soft
ago.
run, a stealth run.
It's a run, nevertheless.
People that have been red-pilled and know where we're headed, they want to get their cash out of the public banking cabal.
Yeah, but the locations for that cash are limited. Okay, that's why many people turn to gold and silver. Gold is a safe place to put your money. The problem is, where is that safe place in your house? And it's not always clear that you should have $100,000 or more in your house in cash. But putting it into gold is a safe place to put it. And silver is rapidly becoming more of a barter currency. So having some gold and some silver. And, if you have a good bank and you feel comfortable with the bank, just don't overlook them too long. Don't not go into the bank every week, because you'll get a feeling when you ask for more money as to how healthy the bank is or isn't.
What kind of third degree they put you through?
Yeah.
It happens more and more.
And if you ask for blue $100 bills that you want to take out and spend on something like a new car or a new home improvement loan or whatever you take out, they may say, well, you'll have to come back next week. We have 20s and 50s if you like those.
You might even have to schedule an appointment.
You probably don't even have to. Yeah. We have 1s and 10s too.
So I have a question about what you're seeing as it relates to that that shrinking middle class.
Yep.
In your coin shop. You had mentioned something before we had actually gone live. What are you starting to see, Tim?
The worst thing is the population of immigrants that have moved into New Hampshire for a few reasons. All these guys that went into New York City and Chicago and slept on the sidewalks throughout the wintertime. That's a bad deal. That's not really compassion. Sure, they could go into hotels, but the hotels filled up. Sure, they got new shoes and some extra clothes and sweaters and stuff, but that's no way to survive the winter. There are no jobs for these people. I don't care if it's 1 million 5 million, 9 million, 15 million, whatever it is, there are no jobs. Keep in mind, I don't think it was the UAW that estimated this, but I saw an estimate that 500,000 auto workers are going to lose their jobs because there's no way they can work on electric cars. Electric cars are modular. They get a battery pack from somewhere. They get the battery case that's reinforced to hook up the battery pack. The wiring harness comes from some other place. That's how they're all building electric cars. It's all, in pieces. And there are a whole lot, like 500,000 auto workers who are not qualified to work on electric cars. So they will be hitting the job market at some point. And then if the bank that I just left is any indication, there'll probably be 200 or 300 bankers hitting the job market pretty soon. And then you add to that 10 or 12 million people who've walked across our southern border who are going to take all the low-paying jobs while they can. But then what do? Steal, rob, other forces of crime, sell drugs. There are very few ways for these people to survive.
How are you seeing that literally reflected in your shop? What are you seeing?
Every day.
What do you see?
Every day, somebody comes in who can't speak English, who has something in his hand that he thinks might have some value to sell. More repeat than not repeating. And it's disheartening, but this is New Hampshire, for crying out loud. Well, if you haven't found a job or a place to live by September, go somewhere else. Go south.
Yeah. This is not San Francisco.
The other thing I noticed, usually when you go to Montreal for a Formula One Grand Prix, you hear a lot of French. This year, you're hearing just as much Spanish.
How's your Spanish?
Not good. I'm getting more used to trying to speak Spanish with what I have coming in the store. And, I have to feel sorry for these people.
I do too.
This one guy, and the guy said to me today, well, you had me fill out one of those forms. How come you don't? I said, he's already filled out 2 or 3, and I don't think he knows how to write in English either. But it's,
And you got to question the gold or silver he's holding, right?
He's not holding gold and silver. You're talking pennies or a quarter he found on the street that is different from the last quarter he saw. So it must be something that has value.
But do you ever? What do you do when you question whether or not it's stolen?
Well,
what can you do?
There's nothing you can do about a coin because nobody can prove that a certain coin belongs to them.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point. You had mentioned that last time I was in your shop. Something very interesting about that. Was that a legal case?
It was a legal case. I think it originated in New York City, and I think the coin shop that was being sued probably thought it could have been part of a robbery, but they're saying, well, the person we bought this from said, no, it's perfectly legitimate. I've had those coins for, it was dark junk silver, basically.
Right.
Had this junk silver for years. So when the city wanted to shut them down because they were accepting stolen property, they had to go to court. And the decision from the court was, there's no way you can say a certain coin belongs to you. How do you, because it's a coin with a date. That's the only distinguishing characteristic of a coin is the date. So how can you say, well, that 1944 quarter is mine? Okay. It got tied up in the New York courts. I think it went to the New York Supreme Court. I think this is back in the mid 80s. And when New York wanted to take it up to the Supreme Court, they just refused to hear it. Said, there's been nothing done wrong here. How can you say a certain coin is yours?
Yeah, you were telling me about the defense. How did that go down?
Yeah, well, that's what I heard. I don't know if that's
Tell me
true.
This is what you heard.
And I heard that from another coin dealer.
What was it?
I guess the defense attorney had an expert witness who knew all about coins. He worked for the U.S. Mint or something like that. And so he first searches around. He says to the prosecutor, do you have a quarter I can borrow for a second? So the prosecutor hands him a quarter.
Yeah.
So he hands a quarter to the witness. He says, okay, what are all the identifying characteristics of that coin? And so they say, basically, the date. That's the only one. Unless, let's say your name is Xavier, and every coin that you ever went through your hands, you marked with a big X. Then you might have a case. If somebody stole your quarter that you had initial, then you might have a case. But there is no other identifying characteristic except the date. And so the defense lawyer at some point says, okay, you're a witness, and it's time, the prosecutor's time. So he puts the quarter in his pocket, and then the prosecutor gets up, and he's not really sure how to start. And the defense attorney says, Your Honor, excuse me a sec. And he pulls a handful of quarters out of his pocket and says to the prosecutor, which one is yours? Now, I heard that happened in the case in New York. I don't think any judge will allow that to happen. He'd probably say, both of you approach the bench.
It's a great story, though.
It's a good story.
It is. But you're right. You can't tell. You don't know. And so when somebody brings in stuff that they seem to want to quickly convert to cash,
yep.
you must think in your mind.
Of the people who don't have jobs, who are from some countries south of the border, they must be living together because they all look for stuff that they can bring in and sell. Wow. And I don't know what they're doing other than coming into my store. They're probably going lots of other places. They may even be offering to do a job for $5 or something. I don't know, but it's a sad situation. Added that to, you probably should say her word. What is her name? Rachel Morin, I think her name was killed by an illegal. And we should remember all these names of people that are killed by or raped or whatever by illegals, and say their names every day, because there's so much blood on the hands of this president. He'll never ever be able to wash it off.
But didn't he just have an executive order to close the border down?
No, it was to limit the number of people come across the border to 1 million or something every day.
Exactly. There was no closing.
No, not at all.
We need to shut it down.
It needs to be shut down.
Wow.
And these people do have blood on their hands. You take the hundreds of thousands of people who are dying from fentanyl poisoning, happening every single day. The number of people who cross the drug dealer and are disappearing, it's happening every day on our side of the border.
Wow. Thank you for that, Tim. I think we've got a lot of questions stacking up in the chat. A lot of super chats, too, that came in, and I do want to shout them out. So let me switch over. Let me get back here and switch over to fan funding here. So that'll make it easy for me to go through here. All right, so let's see. We did get some teasing from Tiger early on. Thank you for that $5 super chat, Tiger. And then John Ruck, thank you for the $2. James, $5. Good evening, everyone. Stack that. Silver, not Rig Nation. Yeah, thank you for that. MAGA 2024. God bless us all. Let's get to 200,000 subs. Well, I appreciate that, John. I'd love that. Check Stacker, $5. Hey, Yankee, Tim, great to see you. Run up the super chats. Take Yankee stack. Don't do that. That's mean. Uncle Black, thank you for that. $10. I enjoyed the show. Peasel Weasel, welcome to Patriot Pistol. Thank you for joining my militia. And Phoenix Tide dropped $2. Why can't I find silver for less than $7 above spot? Tim?
Say it again.
Sorry, now we're into some questions here.
Yeah.
Phoenix Tide, $2 super chat. Why can't I find silver for less than $7 above spot? That seems high,
well, the premium from the U.S. Mint is around 5, and it's a short jump to 7.
Yeah, but if I was coming in here to get some rounds, right? So here's one.
Well, American Eagles and rounds are very different.
I understand that, but he's saying I can't find silver. He didn't say an eagle.
Going to the wrong place. Going to the wrong places.
Exactly.
We're trying to keep the rounds at less than $3 over silver.
Less than 3.
Less than 3, and it's getting to be a problem. The Maple Leafs are less than the American Eagles. American Eagles are the toughest one because they are $7 or $8 above spot. And it doesn't help when spot goes up by $1 like it did today. It changes all the math. And then we can actually make a profit. I sold the last of that box of buffalo
rounds.
And we sold all those except the last ones that went out today at a loss. All of them were at a loss. Nothing we can do about it.
Okay, I didn't know you 10 years ago. 10 years ago. No, 20 years ago. Was this unheard of? This whole, I just had to take it at a loss. I sold it as a loss, Yankee. What was it like 20 years ago? Was it much more gradual, stable, easy to be able to, I'll get my supply, I'll sell it, I'll make a tiny little profit, keep my business going. What was it like versus today?
Well, my wife died approximately 35 years ago. So everything in my life changed. And when I left IBM, I used the money to buy the store. And things were not always smooth. Don't think I made a profit for the first 8 years. But I took part in my kids' activities, all of them, all the time. And
you were a good dad.
I lay at night, and be staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m. In the beginning, going, "What the hell am I going to do? And how am I going to take care of these kids? Make sure I spend enough time with their homework, or spend enough time helping them every day." And then I realized I was getting stressed over something I couldn't change. So, and it's literally since then, I just don't have any stress. Nothing is that important. And, and I bought a box of Buffalo Rounds at the wrong time. And, silver went up to $32 there at one point. And, but now, the price as before today was $32 or $32.50 a coin. So I ended up losing money, but I got rid of that box and now I can buy more at a higher price.
That's not how it's supposed to go, Tim.
No, we usually make money on the way up, but lose money on the way down. And that's,
And not every dealer does that. I've been watching and
they,
talking to the local
they'll do anything
dealers.
But lose money.
Exactly.
Anything but lose money.
They'll hide it. They'll close their doors. They'll do crazy stuff.
That's normal. But, I say, well, hey, listen, I get rid of this high price stuff. I always buy something else at a lower price, or at least a fairer price.
Yeah. Lavish Longacre, thank you for joining the militia. Michael Barnhart, $2, awesome show. By the way, we just broke through $100 in Super Chat, so I've got to give up one out. Okay, check this out. This is neat. This is a pretty one.
There's some interesting questions coming up here.
Okay, just show people the Cook Island. We're going to add that to the pot. We'll give that away for breaking 100. Put that off to the side. What are you seeing, Tim?
Well, there was one. Somebody asked, would I trade a gold buffalo for a gold maple? Well, the buffalo costs me more than a maple does.
Right.
So if you're trading me the buffalo, I would definitely trade you a maple for it.
Exactly. Right. They're worth more. Right. Slightly worth more.
They cost more.
Right, exactly. Rick Enfeld, $9, thanks, or $10. Hello, everyone from Nebraska.
Really should do is keep them both.
What?
I think you really should just keep them both.
I'm so glad you said that. Absolutely. Don't exchange your gold. Keep it. Buy and hold it. Everyone from Nebraska. Thank you, Rick. Tiger, again, Rigged 8 coming along. Thank you for the $5. Raybar. Is Raybar in the chat? Raybar, good to see you. If you're in the chat, let me know. I just, do something in the chat to make yourself stand out. But wow, it'd be great to see Raybar back. Amy, glad to be here tonight. Had a rough day and listening is great. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate that. Black Dog, $5. Thank you. Ron Jr., 6766, $5. I call 46 President Roomba because he calls him President Roomba. Okay, because he's wondering. All right, I struggle with this, Tim. I feel bad for him. I have a 91-year-old father.
Who's more lucid than Biden?
Yes, he actually is. But my point is this: it's tough to see people grow old and senile and struggle, my heart goes out to them. That's elder abuse. What we're seeing, the way they're treating Biden is wrong. The way Jill Biden pushes him around, the way they're propping him up and making him say everything is wrong.
The left is now criticizing the Prime Minister of Italy.
Oh, my word.
Who went and brought him back to the crowd.
Yeah.
They say, that's not her job. I mean, she wasn't, he was just sitting paying attention to something over there. No. Yeah. Until he walked into some paratrooper coming out of the sky.
Sick Thinker says, I trade Monopoly money for God's money. Hi, Tim, Marschner, and Yankee. T-Bird, thank you. Ray Barr, there he is. Rig Nation, almost 12 months. I appreciate that. Ray Barr is in the house. It's been a while, Ray Barr. This is great. Guardian, 1326, $5 super chat. Speaking of D-Day coins, have you seen the Hattons of London D-Day coin? I have not. Have you? The Hattons of London D-Day coin? Nope. I can maybe quickly.
I haven't.
I'm curious now.
I'm sure they do have them. They probably have one for Dunker too.
Of London D-Day coin.
We've been getting the same question, which is a very interesting question.
All right, go for it while I pull this up.
I don't see it right now, but somebody has asked, are we on the verge of World War III?
Tim?
Well, the flimsy beginning of World War I was a Serbian extremist his group wanted to break up the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So he stepped out and pointed a gun at the Archduke of Austria, and I think his name was Ferdinand.
Archduke Ferdinand, okay. Exactly. Yep.
And killed him. And that set in motion a string of events that resulted in World War I. And that's pretty flimsy start. There's, a lot of people would say, okay, hang this guy and be done with it. But that's not how it worked out. We have something similar in this country. We have a head of state who's not fooling anybody around the world, and he's weak. He doesn't know what's going on in other countries. He makes big mistakes like fist bumping the Saudi prince and insulting him in the process. He's kowtowing to Iran. You should never do that. He's looking the other way when Hezbollah launches rockets into Israel. All this stuff is just showing weakness, and everybody knows it. And that's where somebody could be as bad as Kim Jong-un launching a nuclear missile at South Korea or something stupid like that, or Japan, that would start World War III, because China would come to their side, but we would have to participate because we are protectors of Japan and South Korea. It's something like that could snowball in a hurry.
Not to mention the Philippines. Did you see that confrontation between the Philippines and the Chinese on the seas with axes? And
I think Chinese have always looked at the Philippines as a weak country that can be annexed.
Exactly.
And it's certainly if you get involved in a war, it's a great place to have a base of operations.
I know.
As we found out during the Second World War.
So, long story short, World War III.
I think we're in a very precarious situation right now. And I think that, Donald Trump, he's not the end-all, be-all. I think he's sincere in what he wants to accomplish, but he's not afraid to talk to any world leader, and he doesn't make stupid mistakes. And when he went to Europe and told Merkel, you're too dependent on Russia for your energy, and he said we can sell it to you at a competitive price, and she laughed. She laughed at him, and the rest is history. She's gone. Scholz has got a handful of problems that he can't contend with. They are dependent on Russia. That's why nobody in Europe will send any money to Ukraine, because they're all dependent on Russia.
Just what Guardian 1326 mentioned. I think it was this right here. Let me see. Hattons of London. Come on, there we go. 2024 D-Day 80th anniversary gold-proof 1/8 sovereign. That's a beautiful looking coin, if that's what you were talking about. Minted to commemorate the 80th anniversary of D-Day.
What's the
Hattons
size of it?
London. Hattons of London.
What size is it?
Different sizes.
Oh,
Man,
okay.
Interesting. All right, so a few more shout-outs here. I do want to thank everybody that's throwing out questions, but especially the super chatters here. Will silver hit 25 or 35 first? Says Johnny. Johnny, thank you for being a member, Patriot Pistol member. Appreciate it. Will silver be 25 or 35 first? I think 35. I don't think we're going to see 25 silver. Not. Do you? Not that you.
No,
what you
25.
hope for.
See, 25 is outside the realm of current inflation.
I agree with that.
35 is still a stretch.
Okay.
We're going to head that way, but there is still going to be a lot of corrections because it's not a genuine position.
Yep.
And I'd like to see world events support the rise in the metals more than hedge funds and silver and gold contracts.
World events, geopolitical challenges. That scares me.
Well,
I don't want to see that.
See, all the countries in the world have phony currencies.
Yeah, but
All
I want to
of them do.
see. I want to see the legitimate inflation in the metals. I want to see at the very least gold and silver reflect what we've done over the past 10, 20, 30 years.
That would be very bad. You don't want to see that. They need gold and silver need to stay low enough for everybody, no matter what their economic standing is, to be able to get an alternative currency. That's the only way that these idiots in Washington are going to think twice about instituting a digital currency.
I appreciate that, but what I don't want to see is World War III prompt gold to hit 10,000. That is what
World War III
I don't want to see.
World War III is becoming more of a possibility, and because we are not occupying the space in the in world politics that we should.
There is a question here I saw. Did you see? This is Donald Combs. Did you see? Where Saudi Arabia is now taking payments from countries for petro other than the petrodollar. All right, so we actually talked about that on our last
actually
video.
been going on for a while.
I know it has, the petrodollar, and I've been getting pushback. I dropped a video. I don't know if you saw that last video that we had together.
I never get to see your videos.
You never get to see my videos?
I never get to
I'm crushed, Tim. No, don't worry about it. No, but here's the deal.
Put them on Netflix, and maybe I'll see them.
I'll put it on Netflix.
Put an interesting title to them, so that, you know.
I'll put your mug on it.
I think
if
it's
you see
a Mexican soap opera or something.
All right. So I did get a lot of pushback. So here's let me just read what I posted and pinned here on that video, and then I want to get your input on this. People are saying that this is fake news, Yankee. There's no petrodollar. Never has been. Never signed. It's bogus. It's all a conspiracy. You got rocks in your head. So I said that there was never any. I'm sorry. I said there was an agreement signed in June of 1974, and yes, it had nothing to do with currencies because the Saudis carried on selling in sterling even after that. So they were still selling in pound sterling, right? Yep. However, there was a secret petrodollar deal between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia reached in late 1974, which promised military aid and equipment in exchange for the kingdom investing billions of dollars of its oil sales in U.S. treasuries. The existence, by the way, of this agreement wasn't revealed until 2016 when Bloomberg News filed a Freedom of Information Act requesting it from the National Archives. So in my opinion, Tim, and I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist either, I believe there was a secret arrangement with the Saudi government to price its crude oil in dollars after the formal 1974 agreement. Later that year, interestingly enough, the kingdom stopped accepting the pound sterling as payment, maybe for other reasons, but I think there was pressure to price it in dollars. And, you know, people say, well where's that agreement? Show me. That was the pressure. That was the reason. All
commodities around the world are priced in dollars.
Exactly. And that wasn't by accident.
No, it's just because we're the world's reserve currency.
Right, but it was, I think it was pressured.
Well,
okay, go ahead.
Keep in mind that we've always had leverage over Saudi Arabia because they don't get along with all their neighbors. Okay, and we would like them, at least when Trump was president and every other, like Bush, both Bushes were president. They thought that having a strong Israel was the best avenue toward peace in the Middle East. So we had to maintain some sort of leverage with Saudi Arabia, and it's always been related to weapons. They've always had, up-to-date planes. They've had, missile rights.
Right.
Even during the Gulf War, we set up all our Patriot missiles in Saudi Arabia. But that's so we maintain leverage. Now that leverage is gone. It's completely gone. When Saudi Arabia and Russia can work out a side deal to manipulate the market like they did in March of 2020, and of course it backfired because the oil went negative. That was not the intent, but that was an illustration of the fact that the petrodollar means nothing to the Middle East anymore. Now, here's another fact.
Before you move on, can I just question you just simply?
Yeah.
Was there a petrodollar?
Yeah, there was. Only out of convenience. Only out of convenience.
But there was a price.
Okay, let me give you another example.
Okay.
We see if you watch Bloomberg or Fox Business or CNBC, they'll quote the price of West Texas crude, okay, and Brent, okay, that's North Atlantic crude, and they're different because a lot of the Brent crude goes to Europe, and of course our crude oil goes all over the world because it's pumped by our companies all over the world. You don't think for a minute that Saudi Arabia, if they want to buy some oil, pays $81 a barrel. You think that Russia, when they buy oil, have to pay $81 a barrel? When we sold our strategic petroleum reserves to China, do you think it was at $81 a barrel? We sold it to them at a bargain price.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cheap.
Now, who is paying the $81 a barrel?
We are.
We are. Okay. And translate that into what is it? 42 gallons of gasoline per barrel or whatever it is. We are paying this outrageous price because of a decision that was made in Washington, not by the rest of the world. Saudi Arabia, Russia, Iran, UAE, all these other oil-producing countries have their own marketplace, and they don't have to buy West Texas crude. They don't have to buy Norwegian oil from the North Sea. They trade amongst each other, and the petrodollar that's a thing of the past as far as they're concerned. I don't think they don't have any need to have a petrodollar, but the rest of the world still needs a petrodollar. And there are countries like Brazil, they want in on that game. The problem with Brazil is their currency has been so shaky for so long.
Right.
The rest of the BRICS don't really want to do business with them, especially on things like oil, because they pollute. They're haphazard about what they drill and what they don't drill. The company Petrobras is 51% owned by the government. So if you're talking to Putin about buying your oil, you say, hey, we got our own monopoly over here. We don't really need to buy your oil. But that's another whole issue. The BRICS are going to be huge pretty soon because everybody wants to join the BRICS to get out of the requirement to do their business in dollars.
All right. Let me just catch up on the super chats too. I do think the fact that they didn't re-sign any agreement, even though people keep saying there's no signed agreement, there was an agreement.
Yeah,
and they stopped.
You want F-16s, there's an agreement.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want new F-35s,
there
there's
was
an agreement.
Yes. Matt 268, $2. Thank you. Al, or AI, I should say. An AI guy gave me $5. Just ordered my first kilo bar of silver today. Would love to hear your thoughts on if you think silver, there it is again, Tim, will cross $50 an ounce in the next 12 months.
Not a chance.
No, I don't believe
Not
that.
a chance.
Unless really we get a horrific situation here, which we don't want.
It's happened twice in history.
Yeah.
Look at the graph.
It could happen again.
Look at the graph.
But I don't think it will in the short term. PMG, Poor Man's Gold, here to support with the $2 super chat. $5 from Mr. Tropical Jim. Thank you. And Angus Scrim, thanks for all your work. Hope to see you both sometime. Cheers. Thank you for the $10, Angus. Kentucky Ready. My father was born in 1933, too. Awesome, Kentucky Ready. Danny, $20 super chat. Tim, tell us how things were like in 2011 when silver went up to 50. So there it is. You said it happened twice. Here it is. How was the sentiment? How was the shop? What was the shop like? Sentiment, the shop, what was it like?
Well, Dodd-Frank was passed in the summer of 2010. It was supposed to eliminate naked shorts. And J.P. Morgan tested that in January of 2011. Mm-hmm. They had a 150 million ounce short or something ridiculous like that, and determined that they could control the marketplace. Okay, and so that's been what has happened with hedge funds since that period of time. Mm-hmm. They have been able to control a lot of markets, and I think that they'll do whatever is to their benefit. I don't think having silver go up to $50 an ounce benefits anybody. There's still a lot of silver out there. Keep in mind that 75% of the silver that's mined is byproduct mining. Sure. Copper mines, nickel mines, zinc mines, lead mines.
They're going for the gold, and they get silver. They're going for the gold.
Well, whatever they have to make.
Yeah.
And if they strike silver, they dig it out and they dump it over there. A lot of that dumping is now finding its way through refineries. Mm-hmm. So, until all that stuff that was just, we're trying to find copper here, guys. Forget about the silver. That's all starting to hit the market, but that's not all. There's less silver every day being used in electronics. Mm. It has unique properties, but there are more sensitive gatherers of energy for solar panels than silver. And keep in mind that companies like Exxon and Chevron and Shell, for example, are working on all kinds of alternate forms of energy. Not much of it involves silver.
What was it like, though? He wants to know, you were the ground floor. You're right on the boots on the ground, in the shop. What was it like 2011?
Well, my daughter worked there, and she had to go to the bank 4 times to get more cash. One day we spent over $40,000. People were bringing tubs, flatware, American Eagles, bars. They didn't care what it was, because after 40, from 40 to 49.50, I think it stopped at 49.50. Mm-hmm. People were selling as much as they could sell. Okay?
They wanted out.
They wanted out, but they were making huge money. The problem with it is that
the way I stack,
and it was like a Thursday afternoon, and right toward the end of this, I called the wholesaler and I said, "Boy, I am so overloaded with silver. Can I bring it down tomorrow?" And he said, "No, don't bother." He said, "I can't buy it." I said, "Why can't you buy it?" He said, "Because the refinery now owes me $4.5 million."
So it got log jammed.
Everything got locked. It was all over the country. Wow. Yeah. But keep in mind, it went up like that and came down like that, even in 2011.
Yeah.
And silver and gold were independent of each other. Silver went up to 49.50, and then by midsummer it was back down to something normal, probably in the 20s or like high 20s. Mm-hmm. And gold went up in September, went up to its highest point ever at that time was 1925 in the third week in September. Mm-hmm. So they were operating independent of each other, and I think it was all hedge funds just trying to figure out how to be hedge funds.
Landon Church, $5. Trump is floating the idea of getting rid of income tax. Well, I think it was income tax on tips, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was tips.
Tips, right? Is that just a gimmick, or could the government be funded through tariffs alone?
Well, people who work in the service industry, many of whom have walked across our southern border, are they don't make a lot of money, and they depend on the tips. And I think it was probably unnecessary for the IRS to require them to pay tax on tips in the first place. So, if you require them to pay taxes, then the service industry has to cough up more in wages. And I think that everybody in places like Las Vegas are against taxing tips.
Okay, so Sparky and Georgia fan, they're all saying, wrong, Yankee. He said all income tax and switch to a tariff-based to fund. Okay, I heard both. I heard, wait a minute. I heard no tax, end the taxing on tips, but also I think there was talk of, going back to a tariff system, which we had before the income tax system, right?
Yes, yeah,
it was all based on tariffs.
Well, I think he did say something similar to that. I think he is. I think it was being half serious about that. But he was opening the doors to a country like China and saying things are going to change if I get elected. You're on notice. I think
could we fund the government? Could we actually do that again?
What we were doing in China? Absolutely.
No tariffs. Just go nuts with tariffs and forget the income tax. That's a tough reversal. I don't think we could.
That started anymore. That started in the 1850s and 60s.
We couldn't do that,
and it resulted in the Civil War.
Right, and I don't think we could go back to that with the types of spending and the type of federal government we have.
No,
today.
we actually would have to be making more in this country than we are currently making. Too.
Bingo, that would help a lot too. All right, so we got Ox in 1661. They are criminal aliens, not illegal immigrants. Thank you for the $10. I appreciate that clarity. How is China prices affecting COMEX? Your prices. How is China prices affecting COMEX / your prices?
Well, it's
indirectly.
It's a strange relationship because the renminbi, which is the Chinese currency,
I like yuan,
is a phony currency, and it's called the renminbi yuan.
Yeah, right. I get so confused. Stop changing the name of this thing.
But the euro is a phony currency.
Yep.
The ruble is a phony currency. Virtually every currency in the world, but the dollar, was dreamed up out of thin air. And doesn't really have any intrinsic value.
Yes.
The only currency in the world that hasn't been reset is the dollar. And when countries like China go out and buy a lot of gold, or Turkey, Turkey was they on the foreign exchange markets.
Yes.
Turkey lost 40% of its currency value, so they went out and bought a lot of gold. And guess what they got back? 40% of their currency's value came back. So what did they do? They made their currency more valuable by stocking up their reserves with gold. But what did they not do? They didn't feed the poor people. They didn't, fight any terrorists. They didn't do anything basically except buy gold to protect their currency. And why did they do that? Because nobody in the world cares about their currency. So it lost 40% on the foreign exchange markets. So they went out and made their currency more valuable. I don't know where the gold is. I don't know if it's in their vaults or somebody else's vaults. But that was why that was. And I think following the purchases of countries, central banks around the world is certainly fruitful.
I think so.
But it doesn't seem to have much effects on the price of gold.
Why?
Well, because the gold and silver are both being manipulated by Wall Street.
Thank you.
Okay. And
when does that manipulation end and the real true value of gold and silver get priced?
It's a good question. If you're buying contract in a futures contract in either silver or gold, you're buying thin air. If you ever take delivery, you've turned thin air into value. And if you buy cryptocurrencies, you're buying thin air. But then if you cash out and you actually get paid a lot more than you put into it,
you can turn it into something tangible.
You can turn it into something tangible.
Right.
And none of that is being considered when you look at our money supply. The money supply should have an allowance for cryptocurrencies that get turned into money. It just doesn't. There's no feasible way of doing that.
Maybe they think it's all going to vanish and they don't need to worry about that.
Well, make it illegal.
Exactly. What do you think is going to happen when a central bank digital currency, a Fed coin, is mandated and is used for stimulus and is used for Social Security and is used for taxes and is used everywhere? I'm not sure they're going to need to make crypto illegal. Nobody's going to want it. They're going to want the stimmy.
I think you're jumping the gun.
Okay.
I think many central banks in the world will have a digital currency for transactions between central banks in the world, and no other reason. And doing that, you can make a lot of your debt disappear. You don't have to have a currency, a digital currency in the hands of the people.
A retail level,
and
right?
I don't think many people in many countries will stand for it.
Well, you and I disagree on that point. We've disagreed on it for over 2 years now.
If they do accept it, there's going to be a big problem.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm not advocating they accept it. I just look at the reality of the Gen Z and the alphas and the millennials, and I see what's coming in our culture, and it scares me, Tim.
So how about Little Stack?
They're going to want it.
Has he learned anything?
Little Stacks? Yeah. Oh, he's totally red-pilled.
Well,
totally. He and I were just talking about stacking and even this channel and involvement with him because he is really concerned about it too. He likes cash, but he doesn't like credit. He's very well informed when it comes to properly handling his finances. And we've talked about CBDCs. He thinks it's a disaster waiting to happen. And he's a young guy. He's outside the norm, though. Okay. Don't base it on
Keep in
my
mind
son.
That young people in other countries, even if they have a phony currency, are more in tune with what a digital currency means than young people in this country.
Isn't that amazing?
It is. It's sad. In Asia, it's going to be like a Maoist revolution in China if they ever do that. But the currency is a phony currency, so they can pretty much do anything they want.
Oh, here's a good one from BMW, 9mm, $5. Why don't gold buffaloes come in fractional pieces? They did, and I think people have tried to answer him. So I'm sure people have already asked him this question. So I can answer it. I think they did it in 2018.
No.
2019? No, 2018.
2008.
Oh, what? I'm sorry. I knew it was 2008. I knew it was 2008. I was about to say yes. It was during the global financial crisis. Yes, 2008. They came out of it. Bad timing, right?
Yes,
really bad timing.
They had a ceremony someplace, and on July 28th.
2008, I meant.
And the people who were at the ceremony weren't sitting in the lawn chairs listening to the speakers. They were off trying to buy the fractionals. Okay. And they started out, they were pretty inexpensive because they were just, if, one was, I don't know, pick a number, $600, then the half ounce was $300, and the quarter ounce was, $150, and et cetera, et cetera. But they realized that the U.S. Mint is actually a profit center. Mm-hmm. And it was Hank Paulson was the Secretary of the Treasury. Mm-hmm. He knew in September that the ceiling was about to collapse, and so they looked at all the profit centers. They said you're going to have to have some cutbacks. The easiest thing to cut back, because they were having so much trouble making these coins, was the fractional buffaloes. So they were made for a little less than 1 month. They were made for in the month of August. In September, they suspended production. So if you see one out there for sale on eBay or somewhere else, that's the reason they're high priced. Mm-hmm. They did make half ounce, quarter ounce, and 10th ounce, but they're kind of expensive.
All right, so we got 1,800 people plus watching this right now. Thank you so much. Smash that like if you're enjoying this with Tim on a special Ask Yankee. I do have 3 more super chats. Wizard of Oz, $5. Thank you. The Star Family, $10. Thank you. It's fun to have Tim here. He asked, can Trump win? Yes or no? Real quick.
What's that?
Well, can Trump win, he said.
Can he win? Yes.
Okay.
He can win.
Tiger Stacker, thank you for the $20. You're giving me a hard time with that rigged wheel yet again. We're going to, it's not rigged. Let's hear Not Rigged Nation out there. But we're going to be giving away some stuff. I'm going to line this up soon, but I do want to give some people the chance to ask Tim a few more questions in the chat, all uppercase. I just got through all the super chats, and that was really, well, all the super chats for now. We've broken 200, so I need to give another round away. Here is a pandemonium round. Pretty cool. This is a Zombucks round. There you can see the reverse on the Zombucks, but a pandemonium round. So we're going to add that to the lineup here for giving away some silver. Coming up, the wheel is coming up. Don't go anywhere. But when I got Tim in the studio, we definitely do the giveaways at the end. All right. So just make sure you're putting something in the chat, and I am still capturing names, participants in the chat. So just keep doing that. Tim, do you see anything else in here that catches your eye?
There was interesting questions about
go
do I sell gold nuggets in the store? The answer is no. It's a long way from a gold nugget to a pure piece of gold. Long way. And they have to be properly refined.
So John McKinney's giving you a hard time. Tim, you said you want silver to stay low. For the people, right? For the people.
For the people.
Right, yeah. But you also admit silver is manipulated.
Yep.
Given this, do you support the manipulation, Tim?
Obviously not.
Obviously not, no. But I do have to push you on this, though. If the manipulation breaks, if they lose control because of whatever situation, and I can think of dozens of reasons why, the price is going to go way up. If. That's a big if.
Well,
okay, it's a big if.
Okay, let's say.
But it is going to go up.
Let's say the regulatory agencies require the COMEX to have the capital reserves to back up every trade. Okay, they require them to.
There you go.
And so COMEX says, hey, that's impossible. And so they say, okay, well, let's change the rules then because you've been out of compliance for so many years.
Well, they already just changed the rules a few years back. They could settle it with cash.
So let's say change the rules and say,
we'll settle it with cash.
You just need to know how to spell silver. That's all you need in reserve. And then what happens to the paper market? It collapses. Why would you buy a futures contract in paper for silver if they have no requirement to have any capital reserves?
You're right. Yep.
So, do they want to do that? No, because largely hedge funds are buying those contracts.
Do you know another institution that is not required to have any reserve?
The federal government, the White House.
The banking system.
Yeah, but technically they do.
They don't have to. Not since COVID.
Okay, well, just mention stress tests, and they'll have all the reserves they need.
All right.
I'm not sure they would bail out TD Bank though. I think if everybody if everybody takes their money out of TD Bank, let's see if they collapse.
Oh, dude. I gotta lie. Don't say that on a live stream. I'll get banned. I said, we're not causing a run on a bank. We're not doing that. We're not.
Just as an experiment.
That is a hypothetical. We're not advocating for that. You have a bone to pick with TD. I got out of TD years ago, man. I don't want anything to do with that Canadian company.
That branch in Londonderry that I dealt with is the best group of people I've ever had to deal with.
They're great people, but the bank don't. What do you think of reports that green industry silver demand is beginning to wane and slow?
The green industry.
Yes, the Green New Deal.
There's so much you can say about the green industry. I mean, it's such a sad situation. Who was it that today was? Maybe it was Laura Ingram was talking about plans to seed the clouds with reflective aerosol.
My goodness. Yes.
So they could block out the sun.
Yes,
because the sun was making our planet too warm.
It didn't work. It didn't work. Right?
No, there's everything. I mean, if they wanted to solve a climate crisis, they need to do it the right way. And the right way is to go talk to all the people who've done all the research. That would be Exxon and Chevron and Shell, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They've done all the research on any possible fuel to the point where Exxon is now making batteries. But they're making batteries that last longer, that weigh less, that use advanced materials. So you're not out there having kids dig the stuff out of the ground in the Congo. If you wanted to solve a climate crisis, go to Exxon, Chevron.
If there is
probably BP.
If there is even a crisis. Okay, so
no, you want to improve the planet.
I'm not saying that.
There are lots of ways.
Difference between that and a crisis.
We used to recycle, and I still recycle. I am a faithful recycler.
I do too.
I rinse everything.
So that they can all throw it in the same landfill.
So they can just, or burn it in a cement furnace. But there are lots of ways of improving the environment.
We need to take care of our earth. We need to take care of the environment. But to reduce it to a crisis that we're all going to die from in 10 years is wrong.
Well, you need to get rid of these people. Number one, put somebody who understands climate science in charge of if you have a climate czar, kick the people like John Kerry out of there, and yank the visa from what's her name?
Thornburg, yes.
Greta,
yeah.
Take Greta's visa away.
Do you know what we might get from this? I might get one of those cool YouTube, messages in the description saying, well, what the views being expressed here, this is what climate change really is. I hope I've never gotten one of those, Tim, but maybe you're going to get me one of those.
I'll try.
I'll
try to get you some truth.
Oh, yes. Michael Thacker. Tim, do you think income tax is unconstitutional? Ooh, that's a tough one.
It was never ratified back in 1913. It was never ratified by all the states that had to ratify it. I think it is kind of unconstitutional, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I think property taxes are unconstitutional. I still pay those every year.
Yeah, you're going to die on that hill? Do you want to be the sacrificial lamb?
No.
I don't want to.
I saw what happened to Elaine and Ed Brown.
Yeah,
Google that. You remember that?
I've heard him. I don't know the whole story, but there's a few others that I know of that decided to say, "I'm not going to pay it," and they took him they took him down. Who was the actor? They took him down. Somebody in the chat will help me here. The Blade. I can't think of the actor's name.
Ed and Elaine Brown.
Okay.
They did take them to the cleaners.
Oh yeah, I've seen
before they put them in jail. They took them to the cleaners.
You don't want to mess around there. Can Saudi Arabia change to BRICS? Can Saudi Arabia's change to BRICS be in part caused by the push for EVs? They have funded Lucid EV company heavily. EVs are not as versatile as internal combustion engine. Yeah, no kidding.
No, but that's the thing I mentioned. Shell has been operating internal combustion engines that are 100% clean for years. Okay, they were in concert with I think it was BMW. BMW had a 7-level sedan. They used to run journalists all over Europe with this thing running on hydrogen, and it was very successful. Except that no country will ever bite because they can't control the dollars. Okay, if you want to solve a climate crisis, you have to go to the people who know how to solve it and stop paying money to a government in the form of carbon credits or whatever nonsense they come up with.
Milo Hoffman, fractional reserve no longer exists. The only backing is FDIC insurance. That's right. Zero holdings. You're absolutely right. Since COVID, down to zero. You don't need anything. I'm not sure they follow that all the time, but they don't have to, which is really stupid. All right, enough free energy for everyone. Okay, how do you feel about 24 karat gold or platinum jewelry? 24 karat gold or platinum jewelry. I think it's pretty. Not so much the platinum. It looks like silver to me, but 24 karat gold, I absolutely love it.
Platinum is going to really have a struggle to become valuable again.
You think so?
Yeah, well, there's tons of platinum sitting in Russia.
Millennials and Zs love platinum. They do. We call it the gold standard. They call it the platinum standard. Isn't that amazing? I've heard
that's because the gold credit card isn't worth as much as the platinum credit card.
There it is. Liberals believe there is a crisis. Yes, we know that. Crisis about everything. They go from crisis to crisis. They need crisis. They need upheaval to change the system. Does Tim watch The Acolyte? Oh, come on!
I don't.
Don't you even.
I was an acolyte when I was growing up.
No, this is a Star Wars thing. You don't want to watch it. Thoughts on gold and silver leases? If you don't hold it, you don't own it.
No.
Stop it. Don't lease it. Now, but it's going on a lot. There's leasing going on all the time in the COMEX. They're leasing out gold. Companies, Goldman Sachs, the rest of them, they're leasing.
Even if it costs you more money than you want to spend on it, hold it in your hand.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Just for the hell of it. Go out, buy 1 ounce just so you can hold it in your hand.
So true.
And it doesn't matter, by the way, what coin it is. They all have exactly the same amount of gold.
That's a good point. People forget that fact. Okay, here we go. Fill the drill. Tim, you're a paragon of Americanism and my favorite person on YouTube. May God bless you with many years of health and prosperity.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
I'm going to hit the a love on that one. By the way, did you see, I can't remember the young boy's name, but did you hear, it was like 6 days ago, in California, in a Catholic school, a young boy wanted a patriotic
Well, he was running
speech.
for the position.
He was running for it.
Yeah. And they
chief of patriotism or something, right?
They made such a big deal of shutting him down.
They did.
And he got expelled. But the school looks so bad.
Oh, horrible.
I mean, I don't know how they could let that happen. And
is patriotism dying?
It's not very healthy. Yes, it is.
It's on a life support.
And here we have a country that went through a civil war where the South lost and they hated everything to do with the Union. Mm-hmm. And now there are more patriots in the South than there are in the North.
Amazing. Thank you, Phil the Drill, for that $5. And boy, Devin, wow. Thanks for the 100 MX. How much of your portfolio is in gold and silver? What other investments do you have, if any? Thanks for your time. Well, Devin, I have some videos on this really quick. I'll tell you, I'm pretty much an open book in terms of percentages. I don't give you numbers, but I have about, I think last count, I was at 18% in gold and silver of my total portfolio. Physical, that is. And then I do other investments. I'm not a big proponent right now of the stock market. I think it's frothy. It's too high. At some point, I think this thing's going to pop. Maybe you want to get in a little bit then. But I do own real estate. I do property, real estate investing and private mortgage lending with real estate, collateralized loans secured by real tangible property, real estate that is literally miles from my house I can go and see. So those, I like commodities. I like real tangible assets. And Tim, don't you think that over the next decade, we're going to see a nation care more about the real, the tangible, not the thin air, going back to what I actually can own and have and touch and use, and less about it's just a promise. It's just in the ether. Aren't you going to see that?
Yeah.
Huge, isn't it?
We're already seeing it. Well, in my store,
you're seeing it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let's see. Johnny Rifle, our currency says legal tender for all debts, public and private. Aren't those refusing to take cash violating the law? No. Actually, I looked into it from a legal standpoint. Private organizations, private companies, they don't have to take your money by law. They don't have to take it. They aren't breaking any laws.
Well, my credit card machine is still not working.
What?
Credit card machine is still not working.
What?
It keeps saying that the internet connection is not within range.
All right, I'll take a look at it again.
You got it to work, but that was it. One transaction, it went back to saying the same damn thing.
Man, you got a faulty unit there, or your Wi-Fi is not very good.
Xfinity. It used to be Consolidated Communications.
No, but private companies can absolutely refuse. Entrepreneurial shop, the coffee shop can refuse to take your cash legally.
Somebody else is saying, "I'm local to you, Tim, and I can't get in your store."
Wait, what? I can't. Wait, I'm local to you, Tim, and can never get in. It's not like he's trying to get into your store now. I would highly recommend you don't do that.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of safeguards.
Yeah, a lot of safeguards there. But he never can get inside. When's the best time? It's true. There are lines that go out the door. I mean, it's
usually,
tough.
Yeah, it's not predictable. Today was a good example. I had 3 packages I had to get in the mail. Mm-hmm. I finally got one done. After closing and locking the door.
Yep.
And I finally got one done. Wow. It's not predictable at all. We have sometimes all afternoon we're buying things. Mm-hmm. I did have a fellow brought in 2 services of sterling silver. And
More.
we quickly weighed them on the scale, and it was almost $1,600 worth of stuff.
Ooh.
But
Wow.
I don't know what's coming in. That's the problem.
Yeah, Magic Moon hardwired is right. I that's like the first thing I thought of, but the Wi-Fi is not in a very convenient spot, so that would take a lot of effort. I don't know why it keeps dropping on you, buddy. I'll take a look at it. Will gold raise platinum? Will gold raise platinum? Will gold raise platinum? I think he wants to know if gold will raise platinum.
Well,
49ers.
It hasn't worked so far.
Okay. Oh, man. I'm local to you, Tim. Okay, no, he said it again. And then there's more platinum questions. I like it when Tim says, hold it in your hand. Absolutely. It's very important we do that. Is it harvest time? No, almost. Not quite. I want to get through a few more of these. Tim and Yankee, greetings from California. Can you speak more about all the influx of Chinese silver counterfeits? Those Chinese websites, too. Oh, my word. Let me just say the websites, guys, please, it's simple. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. You got to read the fine print, and you got to avoid anything that says, you can get an eagle for $10. Don't do it. I get emails all the time from people saying, is this site legit, Yankee? They're selling an eagle for $20 or $19.99. No.
Had a lot more counterfeits in the last month than they probably had all last year.
Last month?
In the last month.
Wow.
Yeah, they almost wore out the verifier.
Oh, man. Well, the pocket ping doesn't wear out. You can ping to your heart's content. And I actually do think everybody needs to have a verifier, a Sigma Metalytics, or a pocket pinger, and there's other ways you can test your metals. Even a scale. Get something to test your metals with because it's very important. You're seeing that a lot, huh? Was it usually eagles?
Well, a lot of them are eagles, but it's everything from Morgan dollars, peace dollars, just rounds.
Do you ever see a Morgan dollar that's fake, that's not labeled fake or copy or whatever, that is not like, that looks worn, that's not a key date, a rare date, it's just a chunk of fake? Or do they usually go for the rare stuff?
Well, a lot of the Morgan dollars, if you look at them with a magnifier, you'll see what looks like black dust around the rim. Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to clean that out, but that's because they use sand castings. Sand castings, they cover the coin in a very fine metallic dust and then pour hot lead on it. And the metallic dust makes the hot lead strong enough to use as a dye, but it doesn't pick up all those particles. If you have, 3 layers thick of the metallic dust, you're not going to get all that's not going to end up in the coin, even though it may be in very precise parts of the coin. But that's what they do. In China, anybody can make a counterfeit coin if they want to spend the time and grind up the metallic dust or whatever they use, and pour the hot lead on it, and it makes a dye. Then you can get, with molten silver, you can probably get a whole bunch of fakes, but they don't use silver. That's one of the fakes.
Interesting. All right, so I did SK Tahoe, Nevada. Tim, what do you think of the what do you think about the Somalia elephant coins? Low mintage and low premium, been collecting them for 10 years.
Yeah, they haven't been terribly successful, and they do come in at my store a lot. Someday I should probably gather them all up, put them in a display, and see if we can sell them all.
Next time I'm in there, why don't you point out the Somalis for me, and I'll do that work.
It's an interesting one.
All right, so I think we're going to wrap up really soon the questions. We got to get to. I need to get some giveaways lined up. I'll spread them out across this table. We'll go full screen after Tim. Do you have to go back to the store?
I do.
Oh, my goodness. All right, so really, let's focus here on a few more. What do you think of? All right, so thank you for that $10 super chat, SK Tahoe. I appreciate it. Wesley Snipes. There it is. Wesley Snipes. I'm sorry. There it is. Yeah, he learned the hard way, too. Tank Yankee Silverware. Thank you for the $5 there. Yeah, you don't mess with the IRS. Period. Don't do it. 949. Thanks for the 5 spot. Tim, says Tiger Stacker. What is your Ryanair's on osmium?
Looks like Ryanair. I'm not sure. Ryanair, that's not a...
What's your opinion on osmium? I don't know. I don't know what...
No, there are a lot of...
I don't know.
There are not a lot of new rare earth metals that they've been finding over the last, say, decade.
Yep.
And I don't know them all.
Frostbite coins, you're saying it wrong. It's silver and gold fleecing, not leasing. Oh, very funny. Very funny. Jennifer, thank you for the $1. Adam, thanks for the buck. And finally, 949 Designs. It's time for more Constitutional. How's your inventory, Tim?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But in preparing large numbers, it's just easier for me to have the wholesaler send it to you directly.
Okay.
But I have a pretty good inventory in Constitutional.
All right.
But it takes time to put through the counter, and the $50 is safer to count on myself. I have a lot. And I just bought another bag of Mercury dimes because they had some available. And I've had many people ask for Mercury dimes, but they ain't cheap.
Well, we're going to be giving away some stuff here, Tim. But before you go, there's something in front of you.
I see that.
You saw those?
Who's that good-looking guy?
We got some magnets. Okay, so I think what I'd like you to do is sign them for me. We're going to give these away. 3 colored ones and 2 that are black and white.
Are they made by the same person?
They are.
It's pretty
Homestead
pretty
Prepper,
creative.
I think it was. Homestead Prepper, I think it was. It's the guy who has a magnet up on your safe.
He does.
Yes, he does. And I still don't have a magnet up on your safe, do I?
No, you don't. You're too cheap to get a magnet.
I'm not cheap. I got one right here.
Where do these come from?
Look at that.
Who made the magnets?
Not me. No, Homestead Prepper did these.
So he did the magnet as well?
Yeah, oh yeah, he did it.
That's awesome.
Isn't that great? Yeah. But I do have one, Tim. It is coming. It is coming.
Jeez.
All right. So we got to sign both 3 colored ones and 2 black and whites. All right. So you can take care of that. And while you're getting that ready, I'm going to get this all set up for some giveaways, guys. And remember, the final giveaway is sponsored by ST Bullion. It's going to be this
I missed that one.
really nice 2024 1 ounce.
Every signature is a little different.
Well, that's what makes it so unique. They're one of a kind. This D-Day Silver Coin 80th anniversary will be coming your way for the winner. And I need to spread these out. Now, I did take part in this. You've heard of the Wounded Warrior Project, right, Tim?
Yes.
It's a fantastic charity. They help so many people physically, emotionally, mentally, all the different things to our wonderful wounded warriors. So I won with auctions a few things. This was a bonus gift. Check this out. Look at this. This is a Klondike Centennial from the Alaska Mint. It has this little bit of gold right there in the pan. That is so cool. I'll hand that over for Tim. You can take a peek at it.
Yeah, where'd that
they
come
threw
from?
that in. It was part of the auction, and they threw that in as a bonus gift. This one I won. This was a double dragon proof from one of my favorite mints, the
You're going to
Perf
have to
Mint.
turn that thing on again.
Am I gonna? It's getting warm, isn't it? I know you need to get out of here before I will turn on the air conditioner really quick.
I'll go join in my
in your
enjoy
car.
the air conditioning in the car.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't want to. It was cool in here for a bit.
It really
and
was.
then it
It's a
warmed up.
very-
Man, it's
it
hot
does
here.
warm up.
Anyways, I like the Perf Mint. What do you think of the Perf Mint?
Excellent. It's a good quality mint.
Oh, it's amazing. I want to go visit there someday. We'll see. And then this one. This is the Knights of the Past 2020. It's the Germanium Mint. Do you see the Germanium Mint sets or coins come in?
I still have lots and lots of Germania stuff.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow. So this one I also won on auction. And if we break, say, 500, I think I'm going to give that away in Super Chat. So that one from mine will be the $500 Super Chat for whatever, if we get there. I did get this dog tag too. Check this out. This is absolutely so cool. Memorial Day. This was a thank you from those that ran the Wounded Warrior auction. There's a lot of people that did that right here on this. I won't go through every name, but such great people that were involved with that. They sent me this Memorial Day Wounded Warrior benefit. Never forget John 15:13. I love that verse. Greater love hath no man that he laid down his life for his friends. Absolutely fantastic. Love that dog tag. So cool. So anyways, I'm going to put those aside. We have some more silver. We're gonna give away some pocket pingers tonight. We'll do that. I have a couple. These are the 200. Oh, we just crossed 300. So I have to give away another round. How about the Noah's Ark coin? What do you think of the Noah's Ark? Actually, Tim, what do you think of the Noah's Ark?
I have a bunch of those in the store, too.
You have a bunch of those. Yeah. Do people come in and ask for these? Do they come in specifically, Tim, and say, I want a Noah's Ark coin?
If I have a line of 10 people in front of me, when they get there, they always have a specific request. And if I had to break it down into Noah's Arks and the elephants from Somalia, it's probably more mainstream than that.
It just takes you a long time to do that too.
Well, some people are in line for 2.5, 3 hours.
Oh, I know.
So I try to make it move as fast as I can.
You do, and I try not to interrupt and get people's way.
We could still sort all that inventory.
Oh boy!
And you can do it by group. Okay, we have so many Somalian elephants.
All right,
we have 5 of those.
Yeah, I like the idea. We need to talk about where to stage all the groups. That's the challenge. Where do I think the first step is to create a place, and then I can go in and start organizing it.
Well, I'm going away next week.
Wait, what?
I'm going away next week.
Oh, well, thanks for telling me. I would have drove all the way over there, ready for
You never tell me when you're going away.
Touche.
Yes. On the 27th, I'm getting on a plane for Vienna, and we're going to the Austrian Grand Prix. And I haven't talked to my daughter about what the flying arrangements are, but she has someplace else she wants to go on the way back, and I don't know what that is.
Take me with you. I want to go to Austria. It's like the one country in the world I wanted to visit more than anything else. I got to get to Austria at some point.
Well, 2 years ago, my daughters sat around. They said, "Hey, Dad, when you retire, what are you going to do?" And I said, "I'm just going to go to Formula One races around the world." So we went to 5 last year.
Oh, they trying to send you a message? You told me you're not going to retire anytime soon.
No, that's because I don't like doing yard work. Have you driven by my house lately?
Yes.
Have you noticed how bad the lawn looks?
Yeah, I did. All right. Why don't I let you go, and then we'll do the giveaways, and you can get in a nice cool area.
So what's the worst looking property in Londonderry? And somebody will say, that guy on High Range Road, he's got bushes growing on his lawn.
All right, look at this. We've got signatures now on all these. These will all be given away coming up. That's awesome. And then we'll also get into some. I just ripped open a bunch of $50. These are all walkers. We'll do the walkers. These are from SD Bullion. So we'll do a bunch of walkers. Not sure exactly how many. And then maybe we'll crack some dimes open. We'll see. We'll see what we do. But why don't you give me a couple minutes just to escort Tim out, and we'll be right back. I'm sorry. I muted myself. All right, let's start all over again. Thank you. It would help me if I looked at the chat. All right. What did I say? No, I basically am back. Tim forgot his phone. I had to go get it for him. So we're going to give away 10 of these walkers. We're going to do the pocket pingers. We're going to do this Ronald Reagan inaugural round for 400, right? 413 total super chats. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's good. And then the last thing I was going to say is, should I open up the dimes? Sorry about that, guys. I feel bad. I was like, why are people like screaming in the chat? Oh, okay, because I muted it. Yeah. Oh well. and we're down to 1320. So your odds got better at winning. Yeah. Not by a whole lot, but definitely if you want to get in on the giveaways with the wheel of names, now's your time to put something in the chat. I am gathering the names. And I'm also making a mess. I want to get these dimes open. Thanks again to SD Bullion for sending all this, for giving, just to give away. Wow, dimes. Gotta love it. They are a great sponsor of my channel. They really support the community. And every time I reach out to them, they're always generous with their giveaways. Every time I'm like, what do you want to do? And he's like, well, the D-Day anniversary coin is now shipping, so definitely want to give away one of those. There we get all the dimes. There we go. So dimes. Maybe we'll do, I don't know, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dimes. There we go. 5 dimes. Five people. Actually, make it a little bit more interesting here. Hold on a second. Let's just move some stuff out of the way. I want to ping one of these. Love it. Got to have a pocket pinger. The sound is so cool. We're going to give away 10 walkers tonight. That is quite a lot of winners. A lot of spins are coming up. And then we'll do the dimes first. So we'll do 5 dimes. We'll do 10 walkers. We need to do these coins and rounds, the pocket pingers, this. And if we get to, oh, look at that. We got over 500. I got to say thank you to a few people before we start the wheel. Let's go through the super chats because there's some big ones that just came in. And I really want to say thank you. Thank you to Tim. May I have a magnet. Thule, I hope you win tonight. I'll get you a magnet. If you win, I promise. By the way, Thule, are you almost to 1,500? You are almost to 1,500. Is that right? Look at this, guys. Thule, 1,430 subscribers. Can we get 70 people to push Thule over the 1.5K mark? That would be awesome. Really, Thule is a fantastic mod. One of my favorite mods. She's so helpful. She reaches out to me before I go live asking me, are we going live? I just want to make sure. And it's just wonderful. So let's show some love to Thule. Let's boost her up a bit. Let's put her link in the chat. I'm assuming other mods are doing that, but I'm going to put it in there right now. There's Thule's link. Let's get Thule over that 1.5, right? 1.5. Subscribe to her. She's awesome. You won't be disappointed. I'm going to say thanks to the other super chatters in here. And when I come back, there better be 1.5. I'm telling you, man. 1.5. That's what I want to see on Thule. So thank you to Liza Jane, 84, who gave $100 super chat. I want the black and white Tim magnet for $100 donation. Oh, hold on. I gotta look. These were supposedly wheel of names fodder here. All right, I guess, man, that's a hard. Liza. I guess. All right. I think I have some more. I do. Does it have to be signed, Liza? Does it have to be signed? Let me know. Give it to her, says Stock Jockey 2. Yeah, I think I probably should. So the black and white. All right, Liza. Email me at yankeestacking@gmail.com, Liza. All right? In fact, I'll put this aside, but if you don't email me your mailing address, I'm not going to be able to send this to you. So I'll put it aside. Email me. But thank you for that $100 super chat. That was super kind, very generous. Thanks so much. All right, so let's look at these other ones. I have CD Story with a $2 super chat. Thank you, CD. I appreciate that. SK Tahoe. Again, Tim, just buy your 5 Somali elephants and give them a home. Have 500 of them. You have 500 of them. Wow. That's awesome, SK. Thanks for the 10 spot. See, it is dementia. Old man, more silver. Dude, you pushed me over. It's your fault. Tiger, you did it. You got me over that 500 hump. This is going to be a nice giveaway for someone. The Knights of the Past, the Germanium Mint. Look, you got your... Look at this. This is so cool. And I auctioned for it because I really wanted it, and I decided, you know what? Someone will probably want this more than I do. There's your COA right there. Dang, that is so cool. That'll be given away because I broke that 500 mark. Thank you, Tiger. And then Rockin' in Texas, $1 super chat. Thank you so much for that. And I think we're all set now. All right, I'm going to end the poll, by the way. Oh, I forgot to mention that to Tim. All right, end the polls. What have you bought so far in June? Mostly silver, 54%. Mostly gold, 11%. And about a third of you aren't stacking at all right now. It's very interesting. Let me end that poll. We had over 1,900 votes. That's pretty cool. All right, there it is. That I'm a little bit surprised. I thought it would be more like maybe 20% neither. But, man, that's quite a few people that aren't stacking at all in June so far. All right, yes, thank you, My Silver Journey, another great mod of mine. Giveaway winners must email your shipping address and what you won to Yankee Stacking. Also, it's U.S. and Canadian residents only for the giveaways. All right. I think, let's see, we got that. I think we're done. We haven't broken any other totals, right? Good. I think we know what our giveaways are. If you don't win a pocket pinger, by the way, you can get a pocket pinger in the link in any of my video descriptions. All of them have a link to get a pocket pinger. These, though, are special because they come with both a real and a fake $50. If you buy one through the link, you don't get the silver. That's only a special on my channel because I told them I want silver. I said I'm going to give them away. I got to give them some silver with it. I don't like giving away stuff that doesn't have silver in it. So, yep, you get a 1 Kennedy half. So a lot of $50 given away tonight. All right. I think I've given you enough time to put something in the chat. What do you guys think, right? Let's harvest the names. All right, I've been gathering them. Now it's time to break this. There we go. And then duplicate it. All right, deduplicate, I should say, not duplicate, deduplicate. All right, and then, by the way, did Raybar ever really, did Raybar say anything in the chat? All copy. Is Raybar anywhere in the chat? Raybar, I'm calling out Raybar. Raybar, are you in the chat? Hello, Raybar. Raybar. Oh, there he is. I'm here. I'm here rigged. Really? Really, Raybar? It's Raybar Invest. All right, so Raybar thinks this is all rigged. It's not, Raybar. You know that. Would you please tell everybody in the chat that the Wheel of Names is not rigged? Please. Say it right now. I want you to put it in the chat. Right now, I'm waiting for you. Tell everyone that it's not rigged. Please, right now. Come on, Raybar. Say it's not rigged. That's what I want to see. All right. So, did he do it? All right, so let's go to the wheel. Let's bring up the wheel. Let's see, here we go. The wheel of names. Switch over. There we go. Now, let's put in all the names in the chat. Make sure that all duplicates are there. And there we go. All right, so we got the wheel ready to go. We're going to spin. And by the way, the gray thing on the left is the vortex of names, okay? So when the name goes in, all right, it kind of bounces around there, and then eventually it pops out. Because if I put all the names on there at once without that gray thing, you wouldn't be able to read the names, right? So let's spin the wheel, and we'll... Wait a minute. No, we can't do this. Hold on. Hold on. Here are the real names. Yeah, see, it's rigged. Yeah. No, it's not. That was a joke. Jeez, let's put the real names in and then make sure there's no duplicates. All right, there we go. Let's go in here and make sure display duplicates is off, not on. I had to do that so he would show up multiple times. All right, there are the names right there. All right, so we're going to shuffle these up. And the first three are going to be for pocket pingers, all right? Pocket pingers. Good luck, everyone. The first one, here we go. By the way, can you hear the air conditioner in the background? It is so hot in here, I had to turn it on. Hopefully it's not drowning out my voice. I don't know how loud it is, but it's pretty loud to me. All right, so we've got, let's see, what's next? Douglas, Teresa, the Cranky Stacker, Bradley, Brandon, My Smart TV 4K, Ted Jones, and it looks like Lil Tay 35 gets a pocket pinger. Congratulations, Lil Tay. All right, we'll just remove that. And don't forget to email me your mailing address in order to claim your prize. We'll shuffle this up and spin again. This is for the second pocket pinger with a fake and a real Kennedy $50 in it. Or this one actually is a Walker. So real and fake $50. Definitely rigged. No, it's not. Don't say that. That was a joke, guys. All right, so James, Make America Great, Fire in the Hole, MJ Butler, and Anita Bruss. Anita Bruss, you're going to get a pocket pinger. Congratulations, Anita. Oh, by the way, I can give Anita, if you're interested in a pink pocket pinger, say that 5 times fast, a pink pocket pinger, let me know when you email me. I have a few of those. I can give you one if you want. If not, I'll give you the black one. All right, take that out, and now let's shuffle up again and spin it. This is for the third pocket pinger. This one is a Kennedy, fake and Kennedy real $50. All right, put those in the tray. All right. So we've got Ominous, Nasty Nate, Craig, Bobs, Babs, Magic Moon, Will, Land, Dennis B, HC, Ronald, Ruckmorton, and C of M.O. C of M.O. is going to hold on to it for the third pocket pinger. All right, congratulations, C of M.O. We'll just put those pocket pingers in the first position. The first 3 winners tonight. There we go. Now, let's do the Tim Magnets. -1, because we are going to hopefully give away, or actually, I think it was Liza. Liza gets one, but we're going to give away a colored one, a black and white one, and then, actually, we'll do the black and white first, and then the 3 colored ones. All right. Let's go back to the wheel. Remove C of M.O. Shuffle it up and spin. This is for the black and white, signed Tim Marschner silver bar magnet that you could put on your refrigerator with pride. I love mine. Let's see. We've got Metal Matt, Eric, Paul, George P., James D. Austin. Can James D. Austin hold on to it coming down to the line? No, it's Fly 7 Wrap. Fly 7 or Fly Trap. I think that's a Fly Trap, actually. So Fly Trap, you won. Email me your mailing address, and I will get this out to you. Let's go back. Remove. Shuffle it up really well again and spin. By the way, if it lands on my name, Yankee Stacking, that's not a good thing. I got to give away an extra 1 ounce of silver. And if we break 600, I'm going to have to do that. I'm actually trying to figure out what I'm going to give away if I do hit 6, because I think I don't have anything else in that tray here for that. All right, that's fantastic. Dan A., hello, Delink. And Level Up IRL in real life. Level Up IRL. Congrats. You got a color version of a signed Tim magnet. All right. Let's do 2 more of these really quick. This is for the 3rd magnet, and then I'll spin it for the 4th. And then we'll get into some constitutional $50 from SD Bullion. Yeah, very nice. All right. Thanks again for that super chat. Hey, Anthony Givens, thank you for that. Appreciate it. That $2. All right, we've got Stanley Bennett, Tarnish Charm, Lesko, Brandon, Love for Movies, and Jim Doc. Ooh, this is going to be close. Jim, you held on to it. Congrats. You got yourself a colored Tim magnet. And then let's do another colored Tim magnet. All right, let's go. And again, listen to Ellie, listen to Thule, listen to all my mods. They're saying, please email me your mailing address at yankee.stacking@gmail.com, the winners, so I can get this out to you. Tiger Stacker, whoa, right by there. Whew, glad I didn't land on that. He wouldn't be a Rig Nation guy anymore if it did. Fiscal Diablo, show me Stacker wins the final colored Tim magnet. All right, so we're done with that. Now, let's get back to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got a lot of winners. A lot of winners. And by the way, let me just tell you, a real big shout out to my wife, Mrs. Yankee. She had some medical stuff that she had to take care of and delayed the shipments of the last batch. So thank you to all those that were patient with getting those out. She's fine. Everything's good. Mrs. Yankee's 100%. It's all good. But she's like, how many are you going to give away tonight? I said, oh, no, not many. Not many at all. No, it won't be a lot. Yikes. Maybe I should trim it down for her sake. Maybe I shouldn't do 10. Maybe I should only do 5. I got 5 dimes. Yeah, she's going to be like, you gave away what? 10? Oh, here. I did say 10. Okay, how about from a mailing standpoint? Let's have a little sympathy for Mrs. Yankee. All right, so I'm gonna do an audible here. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but the 5th one is going to win 5 walkers, not just 1. All right, that's cool. 250 worth of walkers. I think that's pretty cool. We'll package that up separately. So let's do it that way. All right, let's do that. So we'll go back to browser. Let's shuffle it up. This is for a walking $50. Just a single one. All right. Let's go, says ASMR. Die cast. Nice. Are the maggots for sale? No, they're not. They're not for sale. They were given to me so I could give them away. Big Shroom, AIP, Larry Fisher, and Mike Clark. Ooh, Mike, this is going to come down to the wire. No, Blind Squirrel Pennies stole it from you. Blind Squirrel Pennies, you get a walking $50. All right, let's keep it going. Shuffle it up. and spin. Guys, I absolutely love having a channel that offers or gives me the ability to give away silver and gold too to people and just bless the community. I am blessed to be able to do it, and I thank God every day for my channel and what it's become. So we got Larry Pinkerton, we got Trent, Kyle, and it looks like Tim Ross is going to get the second Walker. Congratulations, Tim Ross. Email me your mailing address. Yes, I agree with that. John McKinney, this whole channel belongs to God. Everything I have belongs to the Lord. And I am very happy and blessed by God to be able to have the opportunity to do this. This is so awesome. Let's do it. Let's give away another Walker. Good luck, everyone. Favorite town in New Hampshire? Neighbor Bob. Well, there's some really beautiful towns. Southern New Hampshire is getting a little bit inundated by Massachusetts people, unfortunately. I feel like I should either go further north or somewhere completely different. I don't know. McLeod, Old Man, 5200. And it looks like Old Man 5200 is going to have the Walker. Congrats. Email me your mailing address, and we'll get that out to you. All right. And we've got, let's do one more single shuffle or single spin here. This is for the single Walker, and then we'll do the 5. But I just noticed something come flying through here, and it was two super chats. Oh, my goodness. Woo! Wow, I have some super chats I'm going to need to shout out. So this will be the final spin before I thank some people, and then we'll get back to the giveaways. But we got Old Bell, Daisy Taylor, Sick Thinker, and Sick Thinker is going to lose it to Joshua Boyle. Wow, that was right at the line. Joshua, congrats. Email me your mailing address. All right, so guys, before we get to that, the stack of Walkers we're going to give away, and then the dimes. Actually, I might even double up the dimes. I might do 5 dimes. In fact, I'm going to do 5 dimes, then the 5 Walkers, then the rounds, then the big one, and then the SD Bullion giveaway. But before we do that, let me just say thank you to some people here for fan funding here. We got some really nice super chats. Wow. JDMSD super chat at $5. Thank you so much, DDM. Appreciate that. James C. dropped a 5 spot. Thanks for all you do for the community. I am privileged to do it, blessed, and it's just wonderful. This is just so awesome to have this. Anthony Givens, $2. Thank you so much. Tiger Stacker, oh boy, here we go. Tiger Stacker dropped $50. Read my prior super chat, old man. Did I miss it? Did I miss? What? Rockin', Texas. I did. I've been thanking. What? All right. What did I? Okay, here we go. Watch me, rigged for life. You only let me win to shut me up. Oh, I see how this works. Yeah, sure, yeah. Oh man, I can't wait for that name to show up on the wheel and land on you, and you win and shut you up for real. That's how I'll shut you up. You're going to win one day, and that'll be the end of the stupid hashtag RigNation. No, I'm kidding. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that. Why is everybody liking that super chat so much? Stop it. Don't like that $50 super chat. Thank you for it. I appreciate it. What are we at? Oh, we are almost at 600. Almost at 600. I got to think. What am I going to give away? Well, we're not there yet, but I'll come up with it. One other thing. Tiger, where are you at on your channel? Hold on. I love my man Tiger. Look at this, guys. Tiger Stacker is at 1.36. Let's get him to 1.4. Let's get him to 1.4. Mods, please put Tiger Stacker's channel in the chat. Please do that. I'm going to do that too because Tiger is the man, even though he gives me a hard time. There's his link right there. Let's get him to 1.4. 1.4, all right? And then let me double check Thule. Did you get her to 1.5? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. 1.51. Thank you for doing that for Thule. Now, Tiger, get him to 1.4. That's only 40 people. That's not much. It's 1.38. 1.38. Let's get him to 1.4. 1 point. Come on, guys. Thank you, West TN Exchange. I appreciate that. Let's go, says Gecko 2. We got this. Thank you, John. Let's do it. Did I break 600 yet, Goldie? Well, we'll see. We'll see, Goldie Hunter. Let me just double check one more time. And we are, what are you guys doing? 1.39. Let's see, 1.4. 1.4. We just need a few more to go, and we'll get back to the giveaways. 1.4. There it is. Thank you, guys. Made my night. You're the best. All right. Let's see. Did we break 6? I'm still seeing 596, but we'll see. If it does, I'll pull something out. I have tubes, and I'm not afraid to open them. That's kind of boring. Let's see. Those are kind of nice. Definitely not giving this away. I love that. Yeah. That was a gift. That was a really nice gift, too. All right. So all right, there it is, 611. All right. So I got to make a decision here. Buffalo round or Morgan round? Buffalo round or Morgan round? Let's see an informal poll right there in the chat. I'll just look. Say Buffalo or Morgan? Buffalo or Morgan? They're not looking at each other. Let's make them look at each other. It's a face-off. Oh, I'm seeing some Buffaloes, but I actually am seeing slightly. Well, actually, no. Hold on. Wow, this is tough. I think I'm seeing more Morgans. Yeah. We'll stick with the Morgan. And I really need a flip for this. I'll get it later. We'll put that in a plastic flip. All right, that's for 616 super chats. Thanks, guys. You guys are the best. That means so much. Thank you. All right, back to the wheel we go. Back to the wheel. There we go. Take off, Joshua. This one is for the 5 silver dimes. 5 silver dimes. Good luck. If we get to 7, I just found something I should give away. I'll give away a Philharmonic. If I can talk. A Philharmonic. If we can get to 7. All right, so we got Craig, My Silver Journey. Oh, that was close, MSJ. Ox, 1661. Eric Ken, and OC Stacker. OC, way to go. Nice. Yeah, don't say my Silver Journey. No, it's not rigged, MR. Stop it. Oh, my goodness. Congrats, OC Stacker. You got the 5 silver dimes. All right. Let's see here. Let's remove. Shuffle it. Now, this one's a big one coming up, I think. This actually is more silver. Okay? No. Stop it, MR. Stop it. Come on. My Silver Journey. You guys are mods. How dare you? Okay. So the next one we're going to give away is really nice. This is 5 silver walkers. Take one more look. 250. That's more silver than what's in a round, guys. So this one's a really good giveaway. All right. And they have been pinged. Here we go. Big one. Good luck. All right. Philharmonic. I like the Phillies. They really are pretty. Pretty designs. All right, so what do we got? Richard, Tinker, Somebody You Want Special, Hunter, Steve, Sam Dell, TR, Jeep, NCJ5, Jeff Castle, Noble Control, Babs Board Games. Oh no, Mentally Corrupted. Stole it from Babs. Oh, Mentally Corrupted. That was close. Oh, now MR saying Mentally Corrupted is part of the Rig Nation wins. Oh, I see. Congratulations, Mentally Corrupted. You got a lot of walkers. That was well, at least I saw my name. Well, that's good, Al. Wow. Where's Mentally Corrupted? Where is he? There he is. 2 weeks in a row. Indeed. Now, you know what that means, though, Mentally? It was 2 weeks in a row, but that means you're not going to win for years now. Okay, you're done. You are done. No, I don't know. We'll see. I don't see my name. Ray Barr, come on. It's in there. It's got to be in there. Ray, come on. Where's the bribes button? Frostbite. It means it's rigged for sure, right? Stop it, all of you. Come on. All right, Mentally Corrupted. Okay, congrats. That was a good win. Now we get to the rounds and coins. The first one's going to be the Pandemonium round. Actually, yes, it's a round, and it is one of the Zombuck rounds. We're going to do that right now. Shuffle it up and spin. Do people buy on Whatnot here? I don't know. Fiscal Diablo, I don't do that. I don't like trying to win my medals through to bidding and stuff like that, so I don't do it. So we got Greg B, Joseph Bremer, the one 7, Paul Britton, and Eclectic Rose is going to steal it from Paul Britton. Eclectic Rose, congratulations, got the Pandemonium round. I need another tray, guys. Check this out. This tray is filled. All right. Now we have to add, put this over here. Here's the second tray. Let's put the Pandemonium round right there. Okay, switch back. Now we're going to give actually, let me show the next one. This one's the Cook Island coin, which I think is very pretty. I love the interesting field on this coin, and I'm a sucker for ships. I think ships. I have the whole Black Flag collection. I love the ships. Love it. $1. That's a nice coin for someone, so let's give that away right now. Take Eclectic Rose off. Shuffle it up really well. And good luck, everyone. Zombucks, yes. Spin. Still think it's rigged. No, it's not, Kramer. I do not see 1,800 names to the will. Dude, Milo, not everybody puts stuff in the chat. Trust me, it doesn't happen. A lot of people watch on TVs and don't do it. They're not subscribed. They just watch. Pete Clark and Atris. It looks like Atris is going to win. Congratulations, Atris. You get that beautiful Cook Island coin. We're going to remove that. Put over here. Now let's shuffle it up some more. Let's see. This one's going to be the Noah and the Noah's Ark Armenia coin. Check that out. Wow. Isn't that pretty? It would be pretty if it was right side up. There we go. Very beautiful coin with Noah's Ark and the dove. Let's give that away. Good luck. Here we go. Oh, I hope Magnus. We'll see Magnus X. I see that. I know. It would be nice. I love those, right, Michael? Yeah, they are nice. I saw my name. Wow. Well, of course, Rhonda. Yes, it does sometimes milk spot, Jennifer. They do. They are susceptible to it. So are fillies. So are kangaroos. Joel, Hillbill, and Catcher on the Rye. I think Catcher on the Rye Bread. Catcher on the Rye Bread. You won the Noah's Ark coin. Email me your mailing address, and I'll get that out to you. Now we're down to a few more here. We've got this one's nice. This one's a Ronald Reagan round, commemorative round of his inaugural. See the capital on the back and the description of the inauguration. It comes in a nice coin capsule, so we'll give away that right now. Here we go. Spin for the bowl. Bring Reagan back. Yeah, he was a great president. One of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. Come on, Ron. Here we go. We've got Milo, Jimmy. We got Defunded David, Don Winters, Bulgy Bob, Morgan Young, Silver Hustler, and it looks like James Enlow is going to win the Reagan round. James Enlow. Congratulations. All right. Good for you. And now the Morgan round. Just so everybody sees it. It's a nice round. I think it's pretty. It's from SMI. It has the authentication thing on the back where you need a reader and you can actually see if it says valid. I think it says valid, but it's a way to verify your metal here, and that is what we're going to get rid of. All right. It's really nice. Shuffle it up really well and spin again. Wish I was a winner. All right, Brian Burden, you might win. Can I get a signed Tim card? Oh, that's what people want. If I get more magnets from Homestead Prepper, we'll give them away. We definitely will give more and more away. But there's only a limited supply right now. I'm keeping a couple for next week. Next time. All right, we got William Ryan Swithers, 00, and Jay Collins. Jay Collins wins the Morgan round, and I will put that in a plastic flip after this is over for you. And now we're down to the final two, because I don't think we're going to break 700 total in the Super Chat, which is fine. So let's give away this beautiful Knights of the Past 2022 from the Germanium Mint. Look at the relief on that, the design, the proof nature. It is truly a beautiful coin, which you can't see, unfortunately. Yeah, I can't pop it out. That we're going to give away now. All right, let's shuffle it up. Shuffle it up and spin. Good luck. I spent a lot of money on that auction, and it's the only auction I do. It is. The Wounded Warrior Project, it really is not about the silver or gold. It's about giving to a great cause, and so that's why I did this particular auction. But Roger Masadi, Fran Tech, Ankel H, and Tyler Geyser. Tyler Geyser, you just won the Knights of the Past. Congratulations, Tyler. Do not forget to email me your mailing address, and I will have Mrs. Yankee package that up and get it out to you, with the certificate of authenticity. Put that in there as well. And I think we are... Whoa. Wait a second. Hold on. Diddy, I want the black and white Tim magnet for 100. No, that was the... Wait a minute. No. I thought I saw another super chat come through. Did I just mess up? Hold on. Fan funding. Let me switch over. I did see a few. Here we go. I want to thank Amy Harrell for the $10 super chat. Yeah, thank you, Amy. James dropped a 5 spot. I think Tiger Stacker broke the super chat calculator. But thank you for that. That's awesome. Daryl Bennett, $5. Yes, I appreciate it. And then Frostbite Coins and Collectibles, another great channel. You did now, $5. Thank you so much. Goldie Hunter, $5. Here you go. Thank you. And Mark Rodriguez, another 5 spot. Scully Silverton dropped $10. He's a #1 fan. Thank you so much to all the super chatters. Guys, made my night. This is awesome. But I think the final giveaway that we're going to do right now is, no, not the Philly. We're going to put that away for another time. Well, be careful. Just like that. We'll put that over here. The next giveaway we're going to do is the D-Day coin. So right here, we're going to give away this D-Day coin. That's the obverse. Here's the incredible reverse. It is a very beautiful coin. Very patriotic, and we love patriotism here on Yankee Stacking. So that from SD Bullion. The winner, please email me your mailing address and your phone number. All right, so that they can contact you if there's any issues, because they're going to ship it directly from SD Bullion. So let's get back to the Wheel of Names. This will be our final spin of the night. Tyler, take you off. Here we go. We're shuffling it up. And spin. Good luck, everyone. All right. Lots of silver given away tonight. This is cool. Here we go. All right. So we've got Matt, Magic Moon, Joe Schmo, and Zodiacal Sword 88. Can you hold on to it? Yes. Zodiacal Sword 88 with the win. All right, Zodiacal, please email me your mailing address and phone number. All right, and we will get that contact info off to SD Bullion. Guys, thank you so much for all your support. Please do check out SD Bullion's site. They've got a lot of special deals going on. If you go to their Docs deals, check them out. There's some interesting gold. That one right there, you're talking like a 2.5% premium. That's fantastic. This one over here is like a 3.5% premium on gold. That's fantastic. I think that was around 3. I'm not sure, but check out the gold deals. Check out the silver that they have on sale. They have 90% silver, bags of it. Really cool. And then, boy, I would love to have had this deal when I was doing my monster box. A free 10-ounce silver bar. It's not just any old one. It's the Britannia bar for free if you're stacking a mini monster box of Eagles. So if you're interested in Eagles, and you're going to stack them anyways, right? You're going for a mini monster box. You want multiple tubes. I think there's like 5 tubes in there. If you want them, this is the way to go, because you'll get a 10-ounce Britannia silver bar. Check them out, guys. It's worth it. And again, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And as always, I hope your day is A-OK. See you next time on Ask Yankee. Good night, everyone.